Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is Edgerunner Gaming HD, and welcome to my thoughts and grades video on Fight Night Champion Champion Mode. Now, I know I stated that I would not be doing a thoughts and grades video on this video game, but after thinking about it, I figured, you know what? Screw it. Why not? So, here we are. I'm going to try not to go too long here because after I get done making this thoughts and grades video, I'm not touching Fight Night Champion for a long time. And there's a specific reason why I'm not going to be touching this game for a long time, and I'll get to that later on here in this video. So without further ado, let's get to the grading system, shall we? First thing on my grading system will be the soundtrack for the game. It's alright. I mean, it's nothing really to write home about. It's not the greatest soundtrack I've ever heard in a video game. Would I say it's the best boxing video game soundtrack ever? To be honest with you, I don't really remember any of the songs from Fight Night Round 3 or Fight Night Round 4. I never played Fight Night Round 1 or Round 2. I never played the first one or the second one. I've only played 3, 4, and obviously Fight Night Champion. So I can't really say anything about the first two. But for 3 and 4, I don't really remember the soundtrack from those games. And I have no way of going back and, I could go on YouTube and look at them, but I'm here to grade the soundtrack for Fight Night Champion. There's a couple of cool songs here and there. There's a song in this game that just happens to be in MLB The Show that I recognize, so that was a nice touch. If I had to give the soundtrack a grade, probably, I don't know, probably a 4 out of 10. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, it's not that good. It's not bad. It's just meh, basically. I mean, a few cool songs and everything else is just basically meh. So, yeah, 4 out of 10 for the soundtrack. I mean, who knows? Maybe you thought the soundtrack in this game is absolutely kick-ass. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what your thoughts and grades are in the comment section below, by the way, of what you thought about this game. But anyways, that's it for the soundtrack, 4 out of 10. Next up on my grading system will be the sound design for Fight Night Champion. I gotta admit, the sound design in this game, I really enjoyed it. I loved how they basically gave off that feeling with the sound design where, for example, if you're in a gym and you're training, there's very few people that are in the gym with you. So you'll hear people talking, you'll hear people chattering, but it's not as lively as, say, being in front of like a crowd. When you're in a small arena and the crowd is small, you could hear the crowd, but they're not that loud. Basically giving off the feeling like, hey, you're in a small arena, small crowd. And then when you obviously make it up to the big arena, then I'm really surprised that they did not involve Cowboy Stadium at all during Champion Mode. I'm absolutely baffled by that. Like, you had arenas like Chicago, the MGM Grand Garden Arena, stuff like that, but they didn't have anything to do with Cowboy Stadium in the story mode, in the champion mode, which I thought was odd. I especially was thinking the main event with Andre Bishop versus Isaac Frost, I was thinking that was going to be, in a really big stadium like Cowboy Stadium. And, it would just give off that really big type of, like, vibe. But instead, I'm pretty sure it was in the MGM Grand Garden Arena. I mean, still a famous boxing arena, but no uses of Cowboy Stadium at all. which that sucked. I mean, the only usage I'm going to get out of that is either in career mode or play now. But anyways, like I was saying, I love how the sound design fits the arena that you're in. If you're in the gym, very few people are there. If you're in a small arena, small crowd, there's going to be some noise, but it's not going to be that loud. And then if you're in front of a large crowd in a large arena, obviously it's going to be pretty loud. And then Cowboy Stadium being the biggest one of all. I mean, you're in front of almost like 100,000 people at that point. The sound design of the punching sounds pretty good. The fighting sounds pretty good. Um, uh, the sound design is basically pretty good. I'm not the best when it comes to grading video games here. If this is your first time watching a Thoughts and Grades video, I'm not the best at this, so please bear with me. I like the sound design for this game. I think it's pretty damn good. Would I say this is the best sound design in a boxing game ever? Possibly yes. Possibly yes, even over 3 and 4. And I really like the sound design for 3 and 4, but Fight Night Champions sound design is really darn good. I probably would give this. I think I'll give it probably. Oh, and I almost forgot the ESPN presentation really does help out with this game. Even though I have my personal distaste for ESPN, especially nowadays. But I really did like the ESPN presentation in this game. So that was a nice touch. I think I'll give this probably a 7.5 out of 10 for the sound design. It's pretty darn good. You know what? Actually, no, I'll bump it up to an 8. I'll bump it up to an 8 out of 10 for the sound design. It's pretty darn good. It's probably the best I've ever heard in a boxing game. So there's that on the sound design. Next up on my grading scale are the graphics for Fight Night Champion. For a game from 2011, playing on a base Xbox One VCR model, I don't know what this game looks like on the Xbox One X or Series S or X. I didn't look into it. I'm pretty sure it looks absolutely amazing on those consoles. But I played this on a base Xbox One, and let me tell you, for a game that came out in 2011, 13 years ago, this game still looks amazing to this day. Honest to God, if this game were to come out nowadays, if they were to pitch the graphics up just a teeny little bit more, I would be convinced that this is the next gen game. It looks really damn good. In my perspective, in my opinion, I think this game looks really solid graphics-wise. Is it the best looking boxing game of all time? Well, there have been a few boxing games that have come out after it that obviously have, better graphics and stuff because next-gen hardware. But even still, I'm going to make the argument that, yes, this is the best looking boxing game of all time. I'm willing to make that argument. I'm willing to die on a hill by saying that this is the best looking boxing game ever made to date. Unless EA or unless somebody makes an official boxing game with like a whole bunch of like legendary boxers and stuff, like they get the rights to all these legends and stuff like that with the graphics engines of today, I'm still going to say that this is the best looking boxing game to date, unless something like that comes out in the future, which the way things are going, I don't know if we're ever going to see another Fight Night. It sucks, but I'm assuming Fight Night is pretty much officially dead, which that sucks. I mean, considering that people like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and I can't stand those two, but I have to give credit where credit's due. They did revitalize boxing quite a bit with their popularity. I'm really surprised there was not a boxing game made. with them in it. I'm really surprised EA didn't sit back and think, hey, maybe we should make another Fight Night game. But considering EA's track record, yeah, I don't even think I would want to see them make another Fight Night game nowadays. They just fill that damn game with microtransactions. Which you know they would. You know they would fill the game with microtransactions and stuff like that. EA. Graphics wise, you know what? Fuck it. I know that my friend Orbital Sigma and a lot of people are probably going to give me a weird look when I say this, but fuck it. I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. This looks really damn good. Graphics wise, I liked it. Is it the greatest looking sports game of all time? No. Is it the greatest looking game of all time? Fuck no. But in terms of a boxing game, in my opinion, this is the best looking one that we've ever got. And I really did like the way the game looks. And the lighting at times on some of the animations, mwah, solid. So I'm giving this a 9 out of 10 for the graphics. I think this is the best looking boxing game we've ever gotten. To date, for now, the best looking one that we've got. And that's my thoughts on the graphics for Fight Night Champion. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are down to the final two here on my grading system, and my second to last here on my grading system will be over the gameplay for Fight Night Champion. Now, I will admit right here, right now, the gameplay in this game is not perfect. There are bugs and there are glitches. I ran into a few of them here in Champion mode, and I have run into a few in Play Now. And I'm pretty sure if I ever were to do an actual career mode, I'd probably run into some in that mode too. But just from what I played, the bugs and glitches that I've seen, they're not super game breaking. They piss me off when they happen, but they're not really super game breaking. Like, I did not experience a single game crash at all. The game did not lock up on me at all. It did not freeze up on me at all. I had a relatively smooth experience with Fight Night Champion, and I really do appreciate that. I know people said back in the day that the FPS for this game was absolutely abysmal on 360 and PS3. Well, I played this on Xbox One, and for me, from my viewpoint, the frame rate was pretty stable. Wasn't perfect, but it was pretty stable. I didn't have no crashing or no freezing, no game crashes, no hard lockups or anything like that. I mean, it ran pretty smooth from my perspective. In terms of Fight Night Champion, in terms of the gameplay, a lot of people have come out and said that this is the greatest boxing game of all time. I'm going to have to agree with them on that take. In terms of the gameplay, this is the best gameplay in a boxing game I have ever seen. It is really damn good. The gameplay in this game is so good, so entertaining. Even when I'm getting my ass kicked, it can... I guess it could be entertaining from your perspective, seeing me get my ass kicked in champion mode, especially against that one son of a bitch that I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. Overall, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, this is the greatest boxing game of all time in terms of the gameplay. It ain't perfect, but from my viewpoint, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. And yes, like I said, this is the best boxing game that's ever been made in terms of gameplay. The gameplay in this game is really damn good. And I don't know if we'll ever see a boxing game come out in the future that could top this. It's possible, but we'll have to wait and see. And now we get to the part of the grading system that I'm pretty sure all of you have been waiting for. Champion Mode Story. Where do I even start? I was enjoying the story somewhat. It wasn't the best, but it was alright. It was average. And I would have given this a decent 5 out of 10 if it wasn't for that fucking boss fight at the end against Isaac Frost. Because fucking EA, they had to go and make Isaac Frost into fucking Drago from Rocky 4, except this time around, there's no way to beat him unless you get super lucky, and you can't Rocky Balboa the fight, because if you try to Rocky Balboa the fight, you're just gonna get knocked on your ass every single fucking time. If I would have kept this game on hard mode, I probably would be playing this game up until Christmas trying to beat this dude. Many people have said that this guy is one of the hardest boss battles they have ever done in video gaming, and these are people that have played the likes of Dark Souls, the likes of Nioh, the likes of Undertale. And yes, I said Undertale because the Sans boss battle is notoriously hard. These are people that have played Legend of Zelda games. These are people that have played Final Fantasy games. These are people that have played Ghost of Tsushima. Shit, I could go on and on and on. Basically, the hardest video games ever made. Doom? And I'm not talking 2016 Doom, I'm talking original Doom. And these people have come out and stated that Isaac Frost is one of the hardest boss battles they've ever gone up against in video gaming history. Because his AI was broken, EA decided to make this guy into Ivan Drago, except you're going to have to be extremely lucky to make it all the way to at least the 8th or 9th round before you can knock him out. And it's not a guarantee that you'll knock him out if you actually manage to somehow make it all the way to the end, because if you've been knocked down before numerous times, all it's going to take is one punch from the dude and out you go. If I would have continued doing this game on hard mode, this guy would have been more annoying to me than the fucking car chase from hell from Yakuza Kiwami. And for those of you who have not played Yakuza Kiwami, sorry for the spoiler. If you have not played Yakuza Kiwami, I feel bad for you when you get to that part. I'm not going to tell you when that part happens. If you want to look it up, that's on you. But all I'm going to say is, if you ever play that game and you get to that part, you don't know pain. You don't know misery and pain until you play the card Chase from Hell from Yakuza Kiwami. That was pain and misery for me. It literally took me all fucking day to beat that one part. This was even worse. I don't think I ever would have been able to beat Isaac Frost if I didn't lower the difficulty down. I don't think I would have been able to beat him at all. And if you want to say I chickened out, if you want to say I pussied out of the fight by lowering its difficulty, number one, I don't give a fuck. Number two, go back to number one. I don't give a fuck. I'm glad this is done. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad I never have to hear the name Isaac Frost ever again, unless he happens to appear in fucking career mode or something, which, please God, no. Just keep him away. Just keep him the fuck away from me. That old man, I can't even remember his fucking name. That old man, I didn't have any issue with him the entire story up until that final fight. The amount of times that I heard that old man scream, up, 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 get up, 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 up. You heard me in the videos. You heard me scream at the top of my lungs at the dude. If you think this is so easy, Grandpa, why don't you get your ass in the ring and fight Isaac Frost? I guarantee you one punch and you'll be in the ER for a month. One punch, you'll be in the ER for an entire month. You know, it's frustrating when you're trying to fight the game, trying to get back up to your feet, and you got an old, I don't know how fucking old he is, 70, 80, whatever. 70, 80-year-old man screaming in your ear for you to get up. And you're trying to focus on the game, trying to fight the game to get yourself back up to your feet. And you got this guy screaming in your fucking ear over and over and over again. It got so annoying. I know that people would have been like, oh, well, just turn the audio off. I could have done that. I could have just turned that audio off of my headphones, but whatever. Fuck it. It was still annoying. Regardless, it was annoying. And I lost all respect for that old man because of that. So I don't give a fuck about him. The girl that Andre Bishop ended up getting with, the daughter of Mr. McQueen, I don't even remember her first name. All I know is that it's something McQueen. She's the daughter of the guy that gets Andre Bishop locked up. I don't even remember her first fucking name. She's literally, in my opinion, she's that irrelevant. I mean, yeah, she helps you get your career back, but I don't even remember her fucking name. Another thing I hated about this champion mode, no closed captions. There were no closed captions at all the entirety of champion mode. Why? 2011 and no closed captions in your game. Now, for those of you who don't understand why I'm saying this, I have family members, friends of mine, who are hearing impaired or even deaf. My mother is deaf. If she were to watch these videos, let's say if a deaf person were to watch these videos, they would not be able to hear what's going on. So they would have to follow the closed captions of the story in order to follow what's going on with said story. The fact there were no closed captions in this game at all pisses me the hell off. I fucking detest. I don't care who you are. I detest when a video game refuses to let me put closed captions on for the hearing impaired. I fucking detest that. There are people that are hearing impaired or deaf that could possibly click onto my video, want to watch me play the game, and they can't understand a word that's going on unless they use YouTube's closed captions, which isn't perfect, by the way, or if they follow the captions in the story. If there's no captions in the story, it makes it hard for them to follow what's going on in the game. I had this issue with Jak and Daxter when I was playing that on my channel. I fucking hated that. I hate any video game that does not have closed captioning in it. I could understand games from way back in the day, from like the 80s and, the early 90s and stuff like that. I can understand that. But a game from 2011, really? 2011 and you don't have fucking closed captions built into your fucking game? Oh, why? Because you wanted to give off a cinematic approach. Okay. If you want to give off the cinematic approach, movies, cinema, this ain't a silent movie. It's not in black and white. Why are there no closed captions? Why? Are you that fucking lazy, EA, that you couldn't hire a closed caption team to write closed captions for your fucking game? Are you that lazy? So just for that alone, that's going to take some points off the grade. There's not a single person from the story mode that I'm going to care about coming out of it. Not one. Not a single damn one. I don't give a shit about Mr. McQueen's daughter. I don't care about Mr. McQueen. I don't care about the corrupt police officers. I don't care about the guy that helped Andre Bishop out in prison. I don't care about Andre Bishop's brother. I especially don't give a fuck about Isaac Frost. And even Andre Bishop himself, I don't care. I don't care. That final boss fight against Isaac Frost, the way this game ended, the fact that there were no closed captions at all this entire game, this entire story, I don't give a shit. I really don't. Originally, I was going to give this a decent grade. But now, you want to know what you're going to get? Congratulations, Fight Night Champion mode. You managed to piss me off so much that officially I am giving you, unless I'm mistaken and there's a game that I gave a worse grade to, you are getting the lowest grade I have ever given a story mode in any video game in the history of my channel to date. You are getting a 2.5 out of 10. I hate this story mode. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I was sort of enjoying it, and then all of that came crashing down at the very end. Fuck this story. Fuck the characters. Fuck the fact there's no closed captions. Fuck Isaac Frost with the fucking cactus. Fuck it all. I don't care. I don't even care about Andre Bishop and his redemption story. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I should have just stuck to career mode. I would have had way more enjoyment out of that. I think this actually makes champion mode for Fight Night Champion, unless I am wrong, I think this makes champion mode the lowest graded storyline I have uploaded on my channel to date. Killzone Shadowfall got a higher grade than you. I gave that a fucking 3. And I thought the story for Killzone Shadowfall was shit. But man, I enjoyed that way more than I enjoyed this. It's not saying much, but I enjoyed Killzone Shadowfall more than this. I'm going to be honest with all of you. Outside of Andre Bishop himself, and of course that piece of shit, Isaac Frost, outside of those two, I don't think I'm going to remember any of these characters a year or two down the line. Like, this is going to have to be a Let's Play series that I'm going to have to go back and rewatch a year or two down the line, just to even remember any of the characters' names outside of those two. That's how forgettable the story is most likely going to be for me. I'm not going to remember any of these characters' names a year or two down the line. And honestly, do I care? No. No, I don't. If I had to sum up champion mode in 3 words, it's simply this: I don't care. What a waste of my time. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a waste of your time. I'm pretty sure you enjoyed this Let's Play series, and hey, more power to you if you did. If this is your favorite Let's Play series I've ever done on my channel, then alright, more power to you. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. For me, I know this isn't going to be my worst. I know there's going to come a day I'm going to play a game that's far, 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 far worse than this. But for now, in terms of the story, this is the worst story mode game I've ever played on my channel to date. I think I gave Battlefield 4 a higher grade than this. Didn't I give that like a 3 out of 10 or a 3.5? I know I gave Killzone a 3. I gave Battlefield 4. I think I gave that a 3. And I'm giving this a 2.5 out of 10, which officially makes this lower than those 2 games. I had more enjoyment in Battlefield 4 and how shit of a story that was than this. Battlefield 4, with its broken ally AI that doesn't help you at all, and its absolutely stupid story, and I had more enjoyment in that than this. Oh, and that's also an EA game. DICE is obviously DICE is under EA. EA, DICE. You get the point. I'm done with this game for a long while. I'm done. I don't want to touch this game for a long time. I'll eventually play it again, but for now, I just need to take a long, long break from it. Champion mode was literal poison for me. It made me hate this game. And I don't want to hate this game. I want to love this game. It's one of the best boxing games, if not the best boxing game of all time. I don't want to hate this game. But that champion mode, especially that ending, pissed me off so bad, I don't want to touch this game for a long time. So you're not going to see any uploads of this game for the foreseeable future here on my channel. Maybe late 2024, maybe sometime in 2025, I'll return to this game. But for now, I need to focus on other games on my channel. I know eventually there's going to come a day where I'm going to play a game that's going to top the story mode for this in terms of like shittiness. But I don't know if that day is going to come for a while, unless I purposely play a game that's notoriously bad. I'm just done with this. I'm done. Overall, my final verdict of Fight Night Champion, I still think that this is the greatest boxing game of all time. Yes, even over Punch Out with Mike Tyson, I still think this is the greatest boxing game ever. And we'll probably never see anything of this caliber ever again in the world of boxing. Not with the way society is so pussified nowadays. Overall, I'm going to give Fight Night Champion the game. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. That's right, you heard me correct. I'm giving an EA Sports title, a boxing game, Fight Night Champion, a 9 out of 10. The only reason why I'm keeping it from a 10 out of 10 is because of that fucking champion mode. Fuck that to the depths of hell. If you take away the champion mode, or if you put a champion mode with a very, 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 very kick-ass story, this would probably be a 9.5, possibly even a 10 out of 10. This would be one of the greatest sports games of all time. But I can't do it, man. I can't fucking do it. 9 out of 10. That's the best you're going to get from me. And with that being said, I'm done with this review. I'm done with Fight Night Champion for now. You won't see this game for a long time. So enjoy these videos while you can. And no, I'm not taking them down. I'm not saying I'm taking them down or anything. I intend to keep these videos up. It's just enjoy Fight Night Champion. Enjoy Fight Night Champion in terms of the videos that I have recently uploaded to my channel. Enjoy them. Because it's going to be a while before you see this game go back up on my channel for the foreseeable future. Edge Runner Gaming HD signing out. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go play a game with a story mode that hopefully is leagues better than what the fuck I had to play here. Peace out, everybody. Oh, and one last. Fuck Isaac Frost. I just want to get that out of the way. Fuck Isaac Frost.
I couldn't wait for you to come and clear the cupboards. But now you're gonna leave with nothing but a sign. Another evening I'll be sitting reading in between your love.